now let's get started with our full moon meditation. With this, I really want us to move through and experience the feeling of release, because what I really want to do is take you guys through a journey through the start of 2020 until now, actually, because there's been so much change, so much shock, so much volatility going on that we almost even haven't had a time to process it. And I feel like these 2 moons are giving us that chance, because really our revolution started last year, I believe, with the pandemic and all of those things. So I'm going to be taking you guys through that journey. I think it's going to span about 20 minutes or so, but I want us to move through this, and part of this may involve raising up some difficult emotions, some anxious emotions that we may have been keeping stagnant within us, because again, we're going to go through 2020 and kind of the shock that year was. But I think this is really important for us to do right now, because the full moon illuminating our inner world really makes it a great time for productive release, for healthy release. And I feel like with everything that happened last year, it really triggered a lot of us to get into like fight or flight mode, where we kind of just felt like we had to keep up and keep moving and like not even stop to think. And with that, I feel like a lot of the stress and fears and anxieties we felt before, we have repressed, or we have just ignored, and that has made some of that negative energy become stagnant within us. And when negative energy becomes stagnant, it can lead to buildups, toxins, just things that are building up in our body that we are foreign to us, are toxic basically. So I think this is a beautiful time for us to release that. So this might be a bit of a heavy meditation. I want it to be a point of culmination, release, and also of celebration, just to help you guys acknowledge how far you have truly come so far. And I want to say, even if things might feel difficult, or you feel certain stressors coming back up again, I definitely want you guys to know that you are absolutely safe in this space here, with the Lunar Mission Club, with all of us, doing a group meditation, raising our consciousness and our vibrations together. It is super powerful. It is super healing. You are safe to revisit these things. And again, the full moon is going to help us have a much more detached perspective on it. If you do feel things getting overwhelming, then you might want to try envisioning those negative emotions as being in a snow globe, right? Where it's kind of like enclosed in a safe space. You might see all the storms or shit happening within the snow globe, but it is still detached and separate from you, so you don't have to go through that all again. But just acknowledging it, I think, will help those toxins be released from our system. So with that, the last thing I want to say is just to please feel free to go at your own pace, breathe at your own pace. I'm going to be asking a series of questions and just see what naturally arises for you. Don't think that there is a right or wrong answer, because there's definitely not. This might be a meditation you have to do multiple times even to, have these feelings come bubbling up still. No judgment, no opinions. We're just observing. Aquarius is quite detached, actually, so it's really good at intellectually observing without getting our emotions into it. And so again, I think this is really helpful for us to truly move through and lay to rest the culmination of this cycle. Okay, so with all that said, I do want you guys to move yourselves into a comfortable position, whether that's sitting or lying down. Find your feet, find your hands, make sure that they are comfortable. Release any strain from your body as you take some deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Going at your own pace. Each inhale, you feel the cool crystalline energy entering through your nose, flooding your body with light, with healing, with cosmic energy. With each exhale, you feel the heat releasing through your mouth in a black flume of smoke, releasing stress, anxiety, your to-do list, your whatever you might have been thinking about, and really feel your soul energy returning to your body. You know, so many times throughout the day, we leave so much parts of our energy out there because we're dealing with other people or we're worried about these things. It's really important for us to always have a moment to bring us back into our body, into our soul center. Remember what truly feels like home, unconditional love, and belonging. Just a few more breaths. Now with that, again, I'm going to be taking you guys on a journey through your mind. And that is the beautiful thing about our mind, because it can really take us wherever we need to go. Any point in space and in time is accessible to us when we raise our vibration, when we call our energy in, and when we find our center. So with that, I will be taking you guys on a journey through the momentous year that was 2020. I want you guys to imagine a clock forming in front of you. Whatever the clock looks like, it's starting to move backwards. The hands are starting to turn counterclockwise. Slowly at first, and faster and faster and faster. The days peel back to weeks, peel back to months. Time is going back and back and back until we're finally dropped at the beginning of 2020, that earth-shaking year. Now, I want you guys to specifically drop yourselves into the point in time when you first realized that the pandemic was a thing, essentially. When you first realized that the pandemic was something that was going to change all of our lives forever. For me, at least, I really think back to March of 2020. I first realized the pandemic was a concern when the NBA actually started to close down their games and their stadiums. I know probably for a lot of us in America, you can relate to that. It might have been sooner for some of you guys in other countries, of course. But just place yourself in that space, in that moment, and just see what emotions and feelings arise. I know this can be a time where difficult things come up, fear, confusion, anxiety. Again, just know that you are totally safe in this space. You are a detached observer, and you can see these things from a heightened point of view. With each breath, you feel these emotions moving through your body like a strong gust of wind, so that they can take off and be released completely. Each breath in brings healing light, pushing through blockages that this anxiety may have caused for us. Each out breath releases it effortlessly in a plume of smoke, evaporating into the ethers and leaving your body. I know it's really scary in many ways, and it really sucked too that we had to go through this, something that none of us ever imagined could be possible in our lifetime. But I want us to understand that this cataclysmic event was truly necessary and truly fated, because it takes something this massive and this dark in order to activate the brightest, whitest light within us. This event is a gift for all of us to strengthen our soul, to show us how strong we can be, to activate dormant DNA, to activate spiritual abilities. Breathe into this gift. Let it flood you with electric, life-changing energy. Because that's truly what this was. This event was destined to change our lives, to alter our life path, to open our eyes, to help us see things in a different perspective. Breathe into the gift and acknowledge it in your heart center. From this position, now let's continue on our journey through space and time. Now I'm going to be moving you guys slowly through the rest of 2020. Again, the clock appears, and now the hand is moving forward slowly as the days become weeks, turns into months, and seasons change. Things are changing so rapidly all around us. It's like a flurry of activity, a flurry of energy. We feel like we might be drowning. We feel like we can't keep up. There are new masks, new social distancing, new hand sanitizer, protests, the new normal. Again, just know that you are perfectly safe here, but allow these negative emotions to move through your body like a strong gust of wind. We are truly souls that have chosen to be here at this specific moment in time. There are so many souls. There's a waiting list out the door in the cosmos of people still trying to get into Earth because they know that this is a time of revolution and this is a time of monumental change. We are the ones who are blessed enough to be a part of this. What we need to understand is that any change in our outside world is really a reflection of the changes in our internal world. So with this, I want you guys to ask yourself, what is changing for you inside? As you're moving through 2020, as you're dealing with the new normal, what is changing for you? Your changes in mindset, your changes in perspective, your changes in ideas. It can be anything that's very big or even very small. Acknowledge the shifts that you're going through. Perhaps you realize that you can work from home now, and perhaps that means you should move or go to somewhere else where you feel more comfortable. Maybe you're starting to realize that your job is not that comfortable after all. It's not that secure. Job security is looking different nowadays. And what does that mean for you? Perhaps it's time to realign to work that is making you happier on a soul level. No matter how big or how small, acknowledge these realizations and these shifts because they are truly building the foundation for your future. Everything is leading up to the next moment, even if all the little details don't really make sense yet. Now I move you guys forward to the next point of our journey where we're continuing along 2020 until we get to the end of the year. It is December 2020. It is December 21st, 2020, when the two planetary giants, Jupiter and Saturn, are finally meeting in the sky once again. It is meeting at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This alignment has not happened in over 500 years. Breathe in the momentousness of this moment. Your soul has been ready for this moment. Ask your higher self this. which knows all the answers. What is this great conjunction activating for you? What is the new cycle that's being kicked off? What is the portal that you're being pushed through? What is the new vision of your life that you are being called on to see? Perhaps it revolves around the houses that you have in Aquarius, where you've had so much change happening in the last year. Again, everything has been preparing you for this rebirth. How are you being called on to rebel? How are you being called on to liberate yourself? One more deep breath in to receive this gift, receive this activation. Understand that this is exactly the moment when you are supposed to be beginning this new journey. You are not late, you are not behind. This is exactly what was meant to happen. Finally, I'm going to take you guys to the last point of our destination today. Now that we've looked at the past, it is time to visit the future and see what is coming up for us. Aquarius is that futuristic vision, and it shows us how we can see clearly what is to come. See the clock progressing, see it moving forward, faster and faster and faster, until we get all the way until 2023. Specifically, we drop ourselves into March of 2023. This is the point when Pluto will first enter Aquarius. Pluto will join planets in Aquarius, and this has not happened for the last 200 years. No one here has ever experienced Pluto in Aquarius in our lifetimes, and we never will again. Our soul chose to be here at this moment when Pluto, the planet of power, death, rebirth, transformation, enters the sign of innovation, the future, and rebellion. Ask your future self this: where are you now? What are you surrounded by? What is your environment like? How have your circumstances changed almost 2 years from now when Pluto first enters Aquarius, enters 0 degrees of Aquarius, reactivating the Great Conjunction energy? Your future self can tell you what you're headed towards, where you're meant to be, what you're supposed to manifest, what you're supposed to receive. Accept this mission. Accept it as part of your birthright. Accept that only you can fulfill this mission, and that's exactly why you chose to be here right now. Now, the most important question I want to ask you guys today is the one of: who is your future self helping? Who are they reaching? Who are they impacting? How is your work doing the Aquarius vision of helping the community and doing what's best for humanity. What is the new tribe that you are a part of? We acknowledge our future. We acknowledge our birthright. We express gratitude for the fact that our soul chose to come here now to do something that is going to change the entire world. You were born for this. Just a few more breaths before we take our journey back home. Take one deep breath in, filling your lungs with cool, crystalline, healing energy. As you thank your higher self for showing you this vision. You'll meet them again soon. It's not that far ahead. We slowly see the clock rewind as we start taking ourselves back into the present moment. We start feeling into our body, our butt on the chair, our hands on our legs. Any sounds, any sensations. And from this state, I want us to just briefly pause to really truly give thanks for where we are at right now. We have seen the vision, but we know the journey towards that vision involves where we are right now. All the good, all the bad, all the wins, all the challenges. Every challenge is only meant to show us how strong we truly are and how much more we have to give. The present is a gift. And exactly where we need to be right now. We acknowledge how we couldn't have been here now unless we had gone through all of the craziness that was 2020. How much we have grown, how much we have changed, how much we have shifted in mindset and perspective and thought things that we never thought we would think and had ideas that we never thought were possible. The past you would be amazed to see where you are now. In the future, you can't wait until you meet them again with love, excitement, joy, and gratitude. Take a few more cleansing breaths as you return to the space. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, dropping into the moment now. ready, you can open your eyes and return to us in the Lunar Mission Club. I can't see your faces, so I don't know if you guys are looking at me, but please chat or turn on the camera so I can see how it's going. Hi! Oh, there's a baby with Samantha. How cute. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Okay, let me know how it feels for you. Okay, thank you. Mind blown. Oh, I'm so glad. Honestly, I was so nervous to do this meditation because I'm like, oh, like we're going to talk about the pandemic and like do all these scary things kind of, but like I really felt like this meditation, like I literally downloaded it in a second. Like I was like, okay, we're going to do this and this and this. And like, it just felt like I had to present this to you guys. And again, it's like such a feeling like we need to acknowledge the trauma we just went through. Like we are potentially still in fight or flight mode. Like we need to rebalance our nervous system and remember what this is all for. And there is so much bigger to this. I truly believe that this is only the beginning of the revolution. Just with the astrology alone, knowing that 2020, we had 3 major conjunctions, the birth of 3 new cycles. That does not happen in a typical year. So again, like I'm just really excited for what's to come, especially with Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto will be in that sign for 20 years, bringing Aquarius transformation for that period of time. And the last time that happened was actually during the American Revolution, like in the 1770s, basically. And so you can only imagine the type of people power and community power returning to ourselves that we are going to experience. It was healing. Oh, good. I was emotional. Okay, honestly, I was crying a little bit too because I was like, this is a lot to take in. Yes, looking forward to the future. That's exactly what I wanted you guys to get, is that, you know, release and see what is to come. Healing for me, yeah, you haven't, none of us, I feel like I haven't taken the time really. I'm going to watch this back and do it to myself, honestly. But we have to acknowledge, and that's why I feel like we have 2 full moons in Aquarius, because this is really like, hey, we just went through this shit and this is not normal. This is a lifetime event and we chose to be here, so it's awesome. Lots of good tears, Fernanda. That's good. So yeah, I definitely, well, first of all, I do want to encourage you guys to really focus on just doing like really gentle, healing, relaxing things this weekend, because obviously we have just done this process, but the releasing cycle is just beginning and probably will continue with the next full moon as well. So just focus on drinking a lot of water, especially during the weekend, just not exerting yourself too much, doing what feels good. You might want to take a bath or do like a salt scrub, which could be really good for releasing toxins as well. And again, like you might want to rewatch this again, perhaps during the next full moon, or just to kind of take it more slow and do journaling, because, you know, we've done the mind work, which is important for us to just like quickly see what arises naturally, but we might want to take it a little bit deeper and start like fully journaling with our spiritual brain and also our practical brain to see what more comes up. And again, this is something you can continue to do into the next full moon.